All right. We are 10 seconds early, so we're right on time here. So we'll give it a second for people to get joined. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully my audio is okay. I know in the last couple videos that I've done, kind of has like a little bit of an echo, and I can't really figure out why. Ever since I got this new mic set up, I've got like the whole soundboard and everything, and I've got the echo turned all the way down, so haven't quite figured out what I'm doing wrong there, but I think it still sounds better than it used to. So, welcome to another Friday live stream. We didn't do last Friday just because I didn't really have a lot kind of to talk about, and I don't necessarily have like a ton to talk about today either. But it's kind of a slow week for things coming out. We dropped two videos. I'm probably going to try to drop another one tomorrow evening for the 25 tier guys. A little bit of bonus footage on the Frankenstein can that we did today, just with a different host. But long story short, we got our 22 rankings stuff all figured out. So you guys got to see, kind of how I went about my decision on a host. You got to see how we kind of went about a decision on ammo, and that was actually kind of interesting, especially because it confirmed some things some of you guys out there had already told me. So thought that was cool. Always nice to have a little bit of what's it called, third party, review, I guess we could call it. And yeah, so that was a very neat can. I knew it was going to do good going into it, but I just didn't know how good. Like I've ran that design without selective venting before, and adding the selective venting to it definitely made it a little bit better. So super psyched that you guys got to watch that today. I'm actually almost a little bit regretful because we came out so strong that I don't know if some other cans are going to be able to beat it or not. Hopefully, when we get a couple of Form 4s done, like the Mask or the Liberty Precision Spark, like hopefully those can beat it. Or maybe if we do the XRT clone, which we are going to do, maybe that'll beat it. Who knows? We'll just have to see. But I did shoot a few other 22 cans. I got them right here in the binder here. I may or may not throw them up next week and just kind of close out the month with just 22 content. We've got Christmas obviously coming up next weekend, so probably won't be getting anything done with Christmas Eve being Saturday and Christmas being Sunday, and going back to work on Monday. But we'll see. Um, which then leaves New Year's and all of that. So hopefully everyone is having a wonderful holiday season. So, what came out this week? I like to kind of talk about things that come out during the week or that I see, but there wasn't much. There's three things that I thought were worth mentioning that came out. So we're going to start with that, and then if you guys have questions or topics you want to talk about, feel free to comment, and we'll talk about them. So far, Clint has to say that he saw Frankenstein 22 and he knew he had to get on the Patreon. That's what he's talking about. And yeah, man, we can talk about 22 tonight if you want to. What specific? You just need to let me know. Anyway, as far as the first thing that's come out in like the last, since the last live stream, let's go ahead and hop on here. We'll do a little share screen. Chrome tabs. Where are you? Right there. Share. Okay. So, first up, I got some feelings about this. So, Q, love him or hate him. A lot of people criticize him. I criticize him quite a bit. Mainly about the suppressor line. But I really do think the Honey Badger was kick ass. I think the stock on the Honey Badger is freaking excellent. It's been an icon of like short barreled rifles now for the last few years. So kudos to them on that. Plan B, obviously, is the springboard and what we get things like the Atlas mount and stuff like that, improvements off of. So kudos to them for that. Like, give credit where credit's due. And they dropped this, which I mean, this is cool. Other than they call it an integrated 300 black, and I don't know if you guys know what integrated means, but normally that means the can fully goes over the entire length of the barrel. There's porting in the barrel that then dumps into the can. We don't know much about this, but if you look closely there where like the funky Magpul looking heat management system is, you can tell it looks like they've just maybe threaded a can on a minifix. I mean, I'm hoping there's more to this than that. I mean, I don't really know. I haven't really looked into it, but if that's all they did, I'm not sure it was really worth the whole ad here. But kudos to them, new product, whatever. I think the fix and the mini fix are really freaking sweet. And if you're looking for something a little bit different in the bolt gun class and you got some of this to spend, I mean, yeah, go ahead and hit them up. I know some people don't, want to support Kevin or whatnot. At this point, I'm sure the guy's got plenty of money. He's in Africa constantly doing what he's doing. So I don't know if that's even something that should cross the brain at that point. But so that's one thing. The second thing from them is something that they came out with this week, which I thought was very cool. Now let's see if we can find it. So I'm assuming it'll be on their website, but maybe not. We might have to go and hit up their Instagram. Yep, they have not even put a teaser on the website yet. So it's something they're calling the Boombox. Let's see if we can find it on Instagram. Well, you know what? Actually, let's do this because I already have Instagram up with our other product that I wanted to talk about before we moved on. So we're gonna do that first, assuming my mouse decides to. Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. Mouse is working again. Okay, that was weird. So let's. Why is guys? We're having some mouse troubles here. I don't know. It's like weird. Like every couple seconds, it wants to like freeze and stop moving. So let's do this. We're gonna pull up Insta. Oh my God, what is going on here? I don't have a mouse again. The light's on. Oh, what is going on here? Why can't technology ever just work? Well, I guess we'll try turning it off and turning it back on. Okay, there it goes. Now it wants to work again. Man, I don't know what is up here. Anyway, back to where we were leaving off. Share screen. And we want Instagram share. So Reptilia Core. Dude, now the mouse is doing it again. Jesus fucking Christ. Is this going to be this kind of night? All right. So now the light's off. So the battery must have been on the fritz. And now it must be dead. So it is a double A. And we are going to have to go get a double A. We'll be right back. All right. Okay, we're back. And we have a mouse again. So look at that. Okay, it's working. So anyway, where I left off, I wanted to show you, and I was on the wrong one, but I wanted to show you what Reptilia Core came out with. Today they dropped it. Here it is. Thank you. Found it. Thank God. Their new stock. And like I was just talking about, like there aren't like a ton of really awesome SBR stocks. There's a few, I guess, but I'm always happy to see a new one come out. This one dropped today. Their website crashed. I tried to order one. They had a big thing on here about, sorry, apologize, blah, 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 blah. But I thought it was a pretty good looking stock. I like how they did it. I like how once it's like all put, in its shortest configuration, it's very short and kind of clean and simple, yet still looks kind of like OE, if that makes a sense. So price point wasn't bad either, like $156. Not bad at all, actually. So I tried to order one. Unfortunately, like I said, their website was total shit, and eventually they must have fixed it because when I went on a little bit ago, they were all sold out. So I did restock notices, and there is what it is. So I don't know if you guys are into that kind of thing. There's a new stock out. Check it out. Okay, so that's our second product. And then the third is, again, we're going back to Q now. So let's see if we can find Q's site here. Anyway, they called it the Boombox. Let's see. Impossible by Q. Did they share it on their actual site? Nope. They shared it on the other one. Or no. Oh, man. I think they shared it. I forget where they shared it now. Maybe we just do a Google search. Boombox. Well, there it is on Reddit. So maybe Reddit will get us there. Let's find out. No, I don't really want to watch a video, but yeah, see, that's old news there. Well, long story short, there's basically it right there. Okay. They basically took, I'm going to say AR10, even though it's not AR10, kind of tried to scale it all down, which has been done before in the past by other companies. But now with the 8.6 blackout, right? Like you're looking for an AR. Now, regular pattern AR can't fit the 8.6. So you got to scale it up to that 308 class of gun. Okay. Well, when you do that and you go to the AR10 pattern, or DPMS or any SR25s, all the different patterns that exist, which is like a lot. I mean, you get kind of big and heavy and nasty, and it just is what it is. Well, they've come out with something basically like the Honey Badger, but slightly bigger for the 8.6 cartridge, and they're calling it the Boombox. They did like a soft, little video. I thought it was going to be quick and easy to find right now. Apparently, it's not. And now when I look back on it, like it was all over Instagram all day. But now that I think about it, it was shared on not their Instagram every single time. Like I remember I saw it on like Suppress Nation, Chris, if you're on now watching this, you can send me the link or something. And then there was like a few others, So those are my three products of the week. Fourth would be Energetic Armaments announced a Vox K today. I mean, cool. Down in their comments, they even had a little thing like where they said like someone asked like, will there ever be like a updated version of the Vox S? And they're like something to the effect of like it's already as good as it can get. Like one of the simplest baffles in the world. You're telling me that's as good as it can get? Like, dude, you guys could come up with a lot of different stuff and take them tons of different directions, to make it better. But what else? So I'm just going to give that one an honorable mention. So those are our four fucking products. Chris, what do you have to say? Chris says Field and Journal is the one who shared it, and then he shared it on Suppress Nation's feed. Okay, well, I guess we try to find it real quick. I probably should go back to. I'm assuming when you say that, you mean on Instagram. So let's start there. Well, that's definitely not the Field and Journal I'm looking for. Well, fuck it. I give up. Guess you guys got the idea. I mean, you all know what a honey badger looks like, right? So we're just gonna end it there. So we got our 22. What do you want to call it? Control can. This guy. We got our Frankenstein can done, tested, did great. You guys saw that. That's out of the way. As far as other happenings, finally got a stock since I finally got the stamp on the Strybog. So very happy about that. Fucking most underrated 9mm carbine out there, I think. The A3, not the A1. The A1's actually really good too, guys. I know it gets a lot of hate, but I wouldn't say a lot of hate actually, but like it's kind of looked at like just another blowback. But the way they put the bolt with the weight forward on the barrel, it actually works really well. Also got one of these B5 stocks to put on the 6 ARC. And this is officially become my favorite gun, by the way. I could not think of a more capable small frame gun out there if you're looking to shoot far and shoot close. Like, it's amazing. 12.5 inches, just a regular AR, small frame AR. And I mean, I'm out there fucking shooting 1,000 yards with a 12.5 inch gun with very little problem doing it. I mean, just freaking awesome. So I got to get a mount to throw like a red dot on there too. But so far, I'm really, really loving that whole deal. Fielder has journal, so I definitely wasn't spelling it right. Sent it to me on Facebook Messenger. Okay, well, let's hop over there. Thank you. Voila, there it is. Okay, now I just got to figure out how to share it on here. Which one is it? Where the hell is it? Here it is. Okay. Voila, there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and we'll add sound.
This is the boombox, the first ever, with the first rounds ever through it this week. So,
what is a boombox?
It is a honey badger, basically in a 308 length magwell, so an AR-10, but actually done correctly in light. The gun right now weighs 5 pounds on the dot without a silencer and an optic. So, very similar to a lot of the things we did on the honey badger, but I changed all the things that I could improve with a second chance. So,
anything to add?
Yeah, I got stuff to add.
And we don't really need to hear Kevin's side of it because he doesn't really add anything worth adding. But there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll just let him play. But long story short, if it was me, I would probably get one of those. Depending on what the price point is. But for suppressors, I would put the Diligent DTF on it for sure. Though we don't really know how good Q's new can is in the 8.6 yet. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the Q suppressors do pretty well on subs normally, so maybe they do really good on 8.6 can. Who knows? What cans have I tried on the 6 ARC so far? My go-to so far has literally been I put the Enticer S on it. I put the Enticer S on pretty much everything at this point in time. Literally my favorite can, Enticer S or Anthem S. Like, just put it on everything. Love it. But I've also shot Enticer L on it. I've shot my Nomad L on it. I've shot the LN can on it. I think that's it. Not a ton. Haven't really needed to shoot a ton of different cans on it because I mean I'm extremely happy with the Enticer on it so far. I do run a different end cap on the Enticer when I run it. And that's not always true. 50-50. It depends if I'm being lazy or not. I decided to change it or not, but I generally run it with about half the time with 6mm end cap, and then the other half the time I don't. It doesn't really matter. It's I mean 6 arc, like it's a hot round, right? So I mean it is a little snappy, but I wouldn't say it's much worse than like shooting 5.56 or anything like that. Yeah, so I know Chris has one, and yeah, Enticer S is just awesome on everything. Like up until like the Anthem and the Enticer series of cans coming out, I generally would be like more, you know, this can is better for this, and this can is better for that, and this can is better for that. And that's because there really hasn't been a Form 4 can that you could point to and just go, it kicks ass on 5.56, it kicks ass on 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 300 Black. You know, like what other cans out there can you say about that? Like they're like literally in like that top 2 to 3 percentile of cans. Like there aren't really any. Like Anthem, Enticer, um, you know, that's really it in my opinion. Like you could kind of say maybe the Nomad TI, you know, the shorter Nomad that's got a little bit of porting in it, like that thing. Okay, you know, for another S can, if you want to mention CGS Helios, I guess would be in maybe another one if you wanted to. Like that runs pretty good on everything, 5.56 to 308. So I mean, there aren't like a ton of cans out there. You can really just like pick up one can and go like, this is good for my AR. This is good to go throw my bolt gun. This is good to go, you know, do whatever. So, um, I end up now using it more than anything just because I'm super happy with how it works and how it performs. I got way too many freaking screens open now. Everything. I can put the Enticer on an 18-inch rimfire. I mean, technically you can. I mean, but being a welded core can and lead and all that, I mean, you know, probably not the best idea typically to use cans that aren't serviceable on 22. But other than that, I mean, I'd be fine running it on 5.7 by 28 or, you know, 5.56 or 6.5 Grendel or, you know, sky's kind of the limit. Anything that can fit through the bore that isn't like rimfire, that's super, super dirty just because of the fact that you can't clean it. Enticer for president. Yeah, I guess the way I'm talking it up, it kind of seems that way. As far as 6 arc goes, you know, I've been shooting a lot of these 108s, ELDs, but I just got a bunch of aluminum tip 110s, Hornets, and I got to figure out a node, and I got to then figure out a couple loads and start playing with those next. And we're going to see if those are maybe even better or whatnot. It does seem like my gun, at least with the 12.5, doesn't seem to really like the 105s, at least not the Hornady black ammo 105s. It shoots a pretty like shitty group, to be honest with you. But my hand load's freaking fantastic, and I'm looking forward to doing a little bit more load development with it. So I mean, that's what I'm honestly still most excited about. Like, just switch scopes on it too. Went to something a little bit more high power because we just put the arc in. I just got a new Arkin. And I put that on my 6.5 Creedmoor, and then took the scope off my Creedmoor and I stuck it on this 6 arc because before I was only running a 14 power and shooting out to 1,000. I mean, it was fine with a 14 power, but you know how shooting a plate at that far of 14 power, it does get a little small. So I figured, okay, we'll step up to, I think, what's it, 16 or 18? Yeah, an 18. So now there's an 18 power on there. So that's going to be plenty of scope for that gun. And that's basically all I got. You guys are awfully quiet tonight. So unless you guys got something you want to talk about, I'm pretty much it. I mean, that's all I got. We got the holidays coming up. I got Christmas party this weekend, and then I have to work tomorrow, so probably be in bed early for me tonight. So far, I've found the most success with CFE 223. I've been running a little bit of BLC2. I tried to go way down in the fast powder direction, right? Since I'm running such a short barrel. So, I mean, I had to find something local that so what, 8208 was like the fastest that I came up with that you could feasibly run. Now, I dialed that back, so I found some tack, and that I was only getting about 2,200 feet per second versus normally getting like 24, like 2430-ish, 2450-ish. So that was a no-go. That was way too fast of a powder, so scrap that. The BLC2 that I tried, I loaded it too hot. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer to, because it's only what, like one rung faster than CFE 223 on the powder burn chart. So I only loaded like 10 rounds or something, and a few of them were starting to already show some signs of pressure. So I need to redo that, loaded down just a little bit. Yeah, it's actually funny you say this because literally just this week, I was thinking about the RPB and going, it's been out now for like at least probably 6 months, maybe more. And I don't think we've tested it on the channel yet. It's something I run on a lot of my guns, so it's probably worth doing here really soon. So now that we are coming out of December, and I have kind of been lacking doing some muzzle device testing as of late, it's probably a good idea that we test the RPB. So it actually popped in my head, and yes, I do plan on doing it actually here pretty soon. And now that I know that there's a little bit of interest as well, that makes me feel a little bit better about doing it. With so many companies stepping up this year with products for AKs, y'all planning on anything made specific for one? As far as DDC goes, no. As far as Silencer Student goes, I'm no. 760 by 39. I mean, I know that there is this huge crowd and following, but for me, it's just never really been that interested. I don't think it really interests Brandon or Dale that much. I do like the AR-47 now that I've got it dialed in, even though it was a giant bear to do. At some point, though, that we do need to get an AK and probably do some AK specific videos, just because I know, again, that there are people out there who want to see that kind of stuff. But it's just not my area. That's Tyler's area, and I've never really cared to venture in it too hard, but it's just never been really my thing. Which is funny because actually, as like a kid, it's like a kid not knowing anything really too much about guns. Like I really thought the AKs were cool, and I thought ARs were kind of ugly, and now it's like the total opposite. Now I love that nostalgic Vietnam era looking AR. And now I really could care less kind of about AKs. Like not care less, but like I mean I appreciate them. Just they're just not my gun. They're just not my thing. I love ARs, you know, and things built off that platform. What suppresses quieter? A 45 ACP can shooting subs with 45, or 9mm can shooting 9mm subs. I always debate this, saying given all things the same exact bore, blah 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 blah. Extremely easy. Answer would be 9mm. 100%, hands down, zero doubt. So about the quietest you're going to get 45 ACP subs, even if it's like a really good sub, will still be as loud as like a Data or Odessa, which is a small OD 9mm can with subs on like a Glock, let's say. So getting into a much better can, that's where, yeah, there's just no comparison. That bore is just too big, okay? It's just too big. You want a host? Ooh, God. I mean, are we talking carbine or pistol? I mean, if it's pistol, I mean, you can't go wrong with like old school HK 45s, right? I mean, that's where it's at least for suppressed shooting. Carbine, I don't know. I kind of lean towards CMMG as an answer here. And then as far as a suppressor goes, like Form 4, you got obviously Obsidian 45, CGS Nautilus, you've got Octane 45. Those are probably your three main 45 cal cans, pistol cans. Which one would be better? Obsidian, I mean, okay, so 45 tends to like a lot of cones, right? Obsidian's going to have a lot of cones. Big bore usually takes a lot of cones to kind of do what you could do with less cones in something like 9mm. So, for instance, a full size 9mm can, I might build 9 to 10 cones. 45 can, I might build 11 to 12 cones. Okay. So I kind of lean towards Obsidian for that, though you're going to end up with the whole end cap strike thing. It just is what it is. If you can live with the end cap strike thing, then okay. Nautilus from CGS is basically a big Mag 9, scaled for 45. You don't have that modularity, so you do lose that. That's another really good option. Octane 45, I don't think that's nearly as good of an option as the Obsidian or the CGS Nautilus. So you're kind of a toss up between those two, in my opinion. Got to cut down SK. Well, SKS is not an AK. I know that it is very similar, but I mean, it's not an AK. Ooh, I didn't think about that. The Vector. I mean, yeah, he was right about that. I kind of forget those exist sometimes. So you're talking about spending some cash. Actually, they've probably come down, I bet. What do they even cost these days? Let's look. I should probably share my screen, but just bear with me here because I'm just curious. So, oh, they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be. They have come down. It's been a while since I've looked. About $1,600. So yeah, that's right there in the running. Okay, well, I'm gonna revise my answer to saying that that should definitely be on the table. Is it a meme round? No, I don't. I don't think it'll dethrone 300 black. No way. First off, I mean, everyone loves to build small frame ARs, right? Like that's where it's at. Not nearly as many people are as fluent in building larger frame guns. So you've got that going against you already. Now, there's obviously going to be pre-built guns that are going to come out and by a whole bunch of people. That's inevitable. So yeah, people will buy those, but it's still a bigger gun. Like now, as far as will it catch on? I do think it will catch on. It does have things that are attractive about it. I mean, what's attractive about it for me right now? I mean, I've got a whole stack of 6.5 Creedmoor brass I can convert over. I've got plenty of available 338 bullets. I mean, that's the whole gist about why it was made. Being able to use existing bolts and all, like just all that extra stuff because of the case they're using, like that's attractive about it, right? Now, I don't think it'll have anywhere near what 300 black has become. And it's going to take a while too because ammo is still, even though there's a few people who are strongly advertising about how they make the ammo and stuff, like it's still extremely hard to get. Even as dealers, it's extremely hard to get. I'm going to build one, but I can't even get a damn barrel. Damn. That's crazy. I remember when those came out, man, and like they were freaking expensive. No, no, I haven't. Oh. We should probably do some piston driven stuff though. Some people really like piston driven stuff as far as the ARs go. I've been thinking about doing one of those kits where you can just convert over your existing to a piston driven system and just changing one of the guns out that I already have to do that. There is a lot of debate about which is quieter. And, you always hear like, oh, there's all this port pop and whatever. And it's a piston pop, and that's because you've got that gas venting right there. The pressure is way higher, right? Instead of it going back to the bolt, dumping that energy into the bolt, by the time it finally does go to atmosphere, it's dissipated almost everything. Versus having it right there, popping a piston back, and having it's more snappy, right? So it's more, it's more than just impact sound. I mean, it's think about how it all works, right? But like, how bad is it if you like are tuning things and stuff for it? Like, is there really like this big difference between a really good tune on a piston gun versus a really good tune then on a direct impingement? I'll be honest with you, I've never actually ran that test side to side, back to back, and it's one that's like one of the ones like I want to do. Like if we do start doing some piston gun testing, like that would probably be the first thing that I would want to run. And it's definitely going to be different for every gun. Oh, I need to meter this can. Clip arrangement's a little different on it now. Should be better. You know, I've watched a bunch of YouTubes. I haven't shot the Jackal yet. And it's like, it seems like it's hit or miss. Like, some people seem to like it and some people seem to talk mad shit about it. So I'm very on the fence. Like, is it worth trying one? Is it not worth trying one? You know, I'm always very open to like budget type, guns, kind of poor man's, examples of piston driven guns that most of us can't afford outside of PSA and things of that nature. But I'd be interested to hear someone who's actually got one, who's not a YouTuber, with like some real world opinion. Or if you do know a review that already exists out there that you feel meets those standards, send it to me. I'd like to watch it. Well, I think this is going to do it if you guys are done here. Like I said at the beginning, I didn't have a whole lot, but I also didn't want to skip another week. So. All right. Well, hey, by the way, if any of you guys play Call of Duty Modern Warfare, hit me up. I'd like to start a clan. Something. I get tired of playing them by myself all the time. I usually play in the evening for like 30 minutes, an hour maybe. Kind of de-stress. Will it be out after shot? So the problem is, it's like there's already all these existing orders for the cans that are already being made, right? And you already can't keep up with those. So it's like it gets hard to release new products when it's like all your other products are doing really well. It's kind of like this double-edged sword, right? In production and manufacturing. I don't know if it'll be out in January or not. I really don't know. I hope it will, but there's still stones left unturned there for sure. And there's no tentative date. I'll put it to that. So I really don't know. Brandon's been traveling a little bit too, going to different shops and getting out there to some events and stuff. So I get that. Here's what I'll say. The 5.56 can will be better than Enticer S on 5.56. But the existing Enticer S on 5.56 does really well already. So if you're not like super concerned about like having the absolute best 5.56 performance ever, then and you want a can that you can then also use on other things, dude, I would say get an Enticer S, throw a 5.56 end cap on it, and be extremely happy with it on 5.56. And then get to shoot it on all kinds of other things. And then down the road, get the dedicated 5.56 can, all right, which will be even better. Now, if all you shoot is like 5.56 and you shoot 5.56 a lot and your heart is set on a 5.56 can, then yeah, it's probably worth waiting then. Hopefully I laid that out as best as I can without making a decision for you. I am looking forward to going to shop though. Diligent will be in Phoenix. What's it in February? At the East Valley Tactical up there in Phoenix event. So if you guys are in Phoenix area, you can come out and see everybody. JK Arment was actually just there. Wanted to go, got invited by JK, and I got invited by East Valley, but I just couldn't get away for that many hours. I was free in the morning, but I just couldn't get away in the afternoon. I knew driving all the way up there, driving all the way back, there's about almost 4 hours, and then yeah, I just didn't have the time, unfortunately. I'm excited. I'm excited to see people. I'm excited to see things that I don't already know about. I did hear that Silencer Co. is supposedly dropping some new line of cans in January. That's all I know about that. Like, I don't know what kind of cans. I don't know if they're just aesthetically different. I just know that supposedly in January they're going to be at an event and supposedly, they will have some of these new cans at that event. So hopefully Silencer Co., man, because there's right now not a single Silencer Co. can. And I hate saying this out loud, but there's just not one that I'd want to own or buy right now. The 36M sells probably more than any can, and a lot of these dealers off these dealers out there shelves, from what I hear. And a lot of the dealers who know a little bit about cans try to push people away from it. And then you have other dealers who, they sell Silencer cans. That's what they like to sell. And I mean, Darren's got one. He hates it. A few other people I'm not going to name have shot them plenty and like, dude, it's not a very good can. I don't know, man. Somewhere along the way, like Silencer Co. just kind of stopped updating what's inside their cans. I don't know if that's where like they ran out of ideas or I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe they're just satisfied with where they're at, And some companies, that's it. They get to a spot and they're like, okay, we got a product. It works. It's selling, and as long as they can sell lots of them to people, I mean, they're gonna keep selling them. Why update then? No, I did not. It's weird. Like I'm friends with Jake, JK Armament, Jake. I don't know if you guys know this, but like, shit, I don't know how much of this is public or not. I should probably go read before I say things that might not be public. But they've made an incredible comeback. I'll say that. They're selling a lot of cans, from what I've been told. It's never really been a can that really did anything for me. It's not a bad can by any means. It's just not. I mean, it's If it wasn't modular, it would be a very basic kind of can, kind of just middle of the road, does okay, blah blah blah. Add the modularity to it, that brings people towards it. Like people seem to like modularity, right? And no one else does a fully threaded together, multiple baffle can that I can think of, other than like the Erector, which is 22, and Odessa. Oh, and Rex has a 9mm one that's not very good though. But you get my point, I think. There's definitely no rifle ones that I'm aware of, at least that I can think of right this second. So I don't know. It's kind of a niche. I don't know what the whole tone technology thing is. I don't know where they came up with that. What cans give me the fizz? I don't know. Is fizz a good word or a bad word? I'm going to go read that JK article, though, Stefan. Maybe I'll even read it right now. I don't know. You're going to have to define fizz. I'm not sure if fizz is a good word or a bad word, buddy. It makes it hard to answer that. If it's a good word, like what cans get me excited? I mean, you already heard me talk. Enticer gets me excited. Anthem gets me super excited. Anthem S, guys, that thing does really freaking well on everything as well. Did a very good job on that can. And it seems like no one knows about that can. So get out there and buy one. I'm pretty excited for Tyler's Jolene to come out. He's been a little hush-hush with us about like what's inside of it, so I don't actually know what's in it. But I know Tyler well enough that he's not going to drop a can that he's not very confident in is going to beat the big dogs, And so I'm excited to see Tyler's Jolene can come out. He's been working on that for a while. That can I'm interested in. What else? The Liberty Precision Spark. That thing's cool as shit. Freaking totally under the radar 22 can. Very few people seem to know about it. Totally hands down if I was going to buy a 22 can, what I would buy. And then 9mm, things like that. Like you already know, I love the RSP. I love the RSP. RS9's cool too. I personally like the RSP better. I like the kind of smaller look and everything to it. I could throw it on a carbine and the pistol. I like that. I think that covers it. And then if you're looking at bigger bore, like the Diligent DTF, I know because 8.6 is kind of so new. Doesn't really seem like a lot of people know yet, but like you can shoot up to 9mm cartridges on that. Totally would buy that can. If you're looking, like all those people who are buying like the 358 Rex cans, don't go buy that. Go buy a DTF. You will not regret it, in my opinion. I would like to see Tyler come out with a 45 cal can version of like the RSP. I'd like to see Tyler come out with a short like K version of the RSP. I'd like to see obviously the 5.56 can come out that we've been working on, and the 22 can come out. And I would like to see a big bore can come out by either Diligent or Resilient, Liberty. Like I'd like to see like a really good 45 cal bore can come out. There's just such low demand for those though that I don't know that's going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. But I would like there to be like a super good 45 cal board option can out there on the market. I mean, you got like the old Primal, and the Primal's probably one of the best ones currently out. But I would like something, that's like, bam, freaking awesome, that type of a thing. Should be an exciting 2023. I mean, still a lot of up and coming stuff, right? 2022 was a buzzer. I mean, I mean, how many cans came out in 2022? How many new and they're not even new companies, but just companies who weren't previously selling suppressors came out with a suppressor in 2022. I mean, it was a lot. I don't even want to try to think of them all. It'll hurt my head. GQ, LaRue, freaking Aero Precision. The hell. Zafiri came out with a can. They weren't selling cans before. Dude, I don't know. Every time there's like 3 or 4 more. I can't even think of their names. They're just like companies that kind of just like showed up on Instagram one day. And it's like, here's our new can. Like, who the hell are you? You know, but whatever. That's fine. More the merrier, right? Big Dick Energy by what's it? Jesus Christ, why can't I think of it? They came out with a can. Regardless, 2022 was the year of a whole shit ton of new cans from a bunch of new companies coming out. And that doesn't even go for, all of, B team guys too. I just couldn't help myself. I had to push the button. I have all these buttons here I never get to push to do all these cool things. All right, well, I think we are done. I've answered everyone's questions. We've gone over everything I wanted to go over. I think we are totally caught up. So you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you guys back here Tuesday. Peace out.